I'll leave it in your hands. Go ahead and say hello to the group.
Okay. Hello, everyone. And I am excited about this opportunity, and I really feel privileged to be a part of it. I've been involved, as I said earlier, in network marketing for about 40 years. It's fun, something that you can really build a great team and work together with your team and orchestrate making a lot of money for yourself and also help other people to make money. And it's not the rigid, products where you're trying to encourage or convince someone that this is a product that they should be using. And well, even though I've never taken the route of trying to push something on people that I didn't feel was good, unless I really felt good about the product, I've never recommended it. And of course, I don't use it just for the money. But with this, it's just a fun thing to do. People, especially in America, they love baseball. They love the baseball theme. They love the opportunity to make money doing something that they identify with and they can have fun with. And so that's been my experience. I'm just having a lot of fun. I'm sharing it with people, and it's not a hard conversation to bring up with, because especially here, who doesn't love baseball?
Mm-hmm. So do you have any leaderboard qualifications?
Yes, I've qualified for a home run. I did that in my first few days.
You're qualified for home run. How much is that worth?
Oh my goodness, it's worth $125,000 plus at this point. And as a matter of fact, I haven't concentrated on it because I'm looking beyond that. I'm right at looking at a grand slam, which is what I'm targeting. I've identified a couple more people that I should be able to get in before the clock runs out, and of course, upon doing that, I'll qualify for the Grand Slam. And
how much is the Grand Slam worth?
Well, the Grand Slam is really worth about, I believe it's over $500,000.
No, $250,000.
Oh, $250,000. Okay. Well, I'm looking at the combination of the Grand Slam and some others I got going on the qualifications that I see, and my goal is is really $500,000. So the Grand Slam is going to be one step toward that.
So you're telling me that your goal in less than 60 days of being in the business is to have $500,000 coming in over the next 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 months, yes?
Exactly. Yes.
Does that make you feel good?
Oh yeah, it's quite exciting. It makes me feel wonderful to know that at least I have the opportunity to make that kind of money. I've always learned to shoot at the stars, but in the meantime, if I fall short and I hit the moon, well, I've accomplished a lot more than most other people have accomplished.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, I understand your sponsor, his name is Charles, is that correct?
Yes.
And do you know that Charles was able to get to the leaderboard qualification within 12 days?
Yeah, he was excited. He made several calls to myself and other people that we are both familiar with and work with, and it was an exciting venture for him.
And does Charles live in Atlanta?
No, actually, Charles lives in Florida.
Charles lives in Florida, but he was able to contact you through the phone, online, share screen, stuff like that, yes?
Yes, we did a lot of Zoom calls.
And so you were joining the business through an online presentation with your sponsor, and you actually have never been to a corporate meeting yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
And yet you're going to be qualified within the next week to 2 weeks for $500,000 in less than 60 days.
Yes, that's correct.
And if we didn't include what you're going to have, and we only talked about your upfront money, I thought me and you calculated about 7 days ago to be somewhere around $18,500. Is that correct?
Yes, we did.
And I assume it's probably gone up slightly since.
Yes.
Right. Any last words if you were talking to a newcomer, what you might say?
I would say jump on board, get involved. The opportunity is great and it's a lot of fun.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, we have Ronnie here who's been around. He was actually involved in in 2004, so he understands the basics of the system. He does not have a full understanding of the leaderboard, the 3 residuals, or the All-Star, which is all new, that was never there. In fact, most of the 27 revolutions. But Ronnie, who has quite a bit of experience in networking, would like to ask a few questions if that's okay.
Okay, sure.
Good evening, Nat. Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
Yes, sir.
Can I ask you, from when you started in September, how many people have you physically brought into the business?
I have not brought in a large number at this point. I brought in exactly 4 people personally.
4 people on your first level?
That's correct.
Right. Okay, well, there's a couple of questions I need to ask Alan, which I won't ask you at the moment, because I don't understand how you've earned that money just by bringing 4 personal people into the business.
Well, there's a few other things he's doing to strategize and maximize the earnings. Would you agree that it's there's a great portion of strategy in the system?
It was pretty much all strategizing. I feel like a manager of a baseball team, that you can take your stars and position them in certain positions and certain situations that you can actually create a winning team just by strategizing.
And did Alan teach you that strategy, or you did it yourself?
No, he actually taught me that strategy because.
Oh right,
you know,
that's something I need to take up on Alan later.
When tactics, but not the tactics that he taught me.
That's something I need to take up on Alan when no one else is around.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, he's the master.
All right, thanks, Nat. Well done, bro.
Okay, Nat.
Yes.
Did you know that your sponsor had 2 triples within the first less than 20 days?
Yeah, because he's been so excited about it. I mean, he's just beaming over in excitement. And so when he accomplishes those things, he lets us know, because, you know, it really enhances our enthusiasm to want to get out there and do the same thing or do more.
Mm-hmm. So 2 triples are 50 grand a piece. So that puts him at 100,000 in qualifications. Plus, I can't even tell you how many cards, but it would be somewhere in the neighborhood of $20,000 worth upfront right now, with 100 grand coming over the next year, whether he does anything else or not. So yes, I can see why somebody might be excited with that. Now you've got somebody underneath you. You brought in Debbie.
Yes.
Okay, and I understand that Debbie is qualified for home run already.
Yeah, she's already qualified for home run. So, you know, again, that's exciting. And that's why, you know, I was saying I've only brought in 4 people, but if you go out and you get 4 good people, so to speak, those that are going to catch on and follow your lead and get excited about it, it doesn't take a lot of people to really get out here.
And Debbie qualified for home run. That's 125,000. She's really picking up. And then you have another one, William.
Yes.
And he's qualified. He's qualified for, no, I don't know if he's qualified. No, he is qualified for home run, isn't he?
I cannot believe.
I believe so. I've been out of pocket traveling for over a week, so I haven't really. Well, you know, we kind of crossed paths. So, but I know that he was.
He has qualified for home run, but for sure, he's qualified for triple, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Do you know that he's got his wife qualified for triple as well?
Oh wow, that's happened since my last correspondence with him. But I know that was his goal.
Nat, sorry, there is part-time or now and again?
All of the above. I know that sounds crazy. But I'm a full-time networker. And, of course, in my past of networking, everybody that I contact about, what I do as far as networking, I also mention this. So that makes me full time in this also, the Home Run International. And the way I can say I'm part time, even when I'm relaxing and not.
Let me answer this, not to be rude or anything, but Nate, you are definitely part time. And the reason you're definitely part time, although you do networking full time, is because you were involved with other company that you've built a fairly large group, over 1,000 people, and you've made commitments with them to do meetings once a week or travel a little bit. In fact, you just got back from doing that traveling to support your people in a different program, correct?
Exactly, yeah.
Right, and so that's kind of kept you away from being full-time. But wouldn't you agree that if you went full-time,
Fucking hell.
the money might go through the roof?
Fucking hell.
Oh, yeah, if I just totally did this completely, it would be crazy.
So what stops you going?
I made commitments to some other things, but if I did this completely, the money would be insane.
Can I therefore ask you, Nat, you mentioned before that the maximum you've earned was $15,000 per week.
No, consistently.
Consistently.
What was your highest income for 1 month in your history?
And my highest income in network marketing was about $75,000.
Yeah. So what stops you, therefore, from doing it on a full-time basis with HRI? And I just want to know how you tick along, that's all.
Okay.
He wants to know what's stopping you going full-time. And his answer is, and he's not going to let them down, but he wants to spend more time with this. In fact, I understand you were going hard starting this week. Is that not correct?
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to hit it a lot harder than I have.
And are you not sitting in home plate right now and have cards in home plate?
Yes, I am, and I'm on third base on a couple boards, and they are about to split, so I'll be at home base.
So let me get this straight. You're in home plate, and you're in third base, and when those boards split, you're going to be in home plate 4 more times, and then you're going to be, when the board splits, you're going to be in home plate again, and when the board splits, you're going to be in home plate again. In other words, from now on, you're going to do nothing but collect. And as soon as you're not in home plate, you're going to be in home plate again, collecting. Is that correct?
That's right.
Man, it sounds like a real tough position to be in, but somebody has to live there, I guess.
Yeah, every time the board splits, I'm automatically at home plate, whether I like it or not. And of course, we wouldn't like that.
And do you...
Who taught you that secret?
Alan.
Alan did. I didn't have a clue about that.
Yeah.
I heard about home plate for life, but to be honest, it didn't make a lot of sense to me until Alan just fully explained it to me and told me how to strategize to be there.
So are you doing one-to-one meetings with people, or are you doing group presentations to people?
Pretty much one-to-one. I will just do telephone calls, and I will set up the video so that when I'm talking to them, I make sure that I walk through it with them. Because I found that if you send it to people, they always say I'm going to take time to look at it, but if you call them and just say, okay, let's share some videos, make sure they have time. It says it only takes really about 4 minutes, but if you want to spend more time and you see that it's worth it, it can take up to less than 30 minutes. And they say, okay, that's fair. So I said, if you see the first one and you like it and you want to spend more time and look at more, that's up to you.
Okay.
Has Alan told you, have I told you that one of the most important things is the 3 rules?
Say nothing, say nothing, say nothing.
Yes, very much so.
Right, so when you set up your person to watch the presentation, you follow the 3 rules, and your closing ratio, your success rate on an individual basis is exceptional, correct?
Yes, I haven't personally talked to a lot of people, but those I have talked to, that's where my 4 came from.
So they're in. All right,
yes.
Any last words?
No, but congratulations, Nat. Good speaking to you. 3 of us